usually what I do is I let this run for about 5 till I'll start this, and I spend 2 minutes making sure that all the streams have actually started.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll switch on the audio and people start saying hi.
Cool.
These are comments left over from a little experiment we did earlier today.
Okay. All right, Josh.
Hey guys, welcome. It's Friday afternoon. We're gonna get ready to model some stuff. How's everybody doing this Friday afternoon? I gotta say, I like that we're not even getting hellos. It's just straight to the go model this, go model this. We don't have time for pleasantries. Get that mouse moving. Good afternoon. It's like most, so I'm gonna try to restart that real quick. All right, guys, give me just another minute or two. Got a little bit of an issue, a technical issue. For some reason, we're not making it to one of our formats. All right. We're going to drop off just 1 second, and then we'll come right back on. So I'll be right.
And then are you for sure recording too?
I just let YouTube record it. All right, welcome me back. Hello, I'm back. Let's see if YouTube can catch up with Facebook this time. Facebook guys got it going on. YouTube's just lacking for some reason. Not sure why, but yeah, for some reason YouTube's got issues.
It's giving an error.
Let's see. What's my problem? Oh, we've got time to get into that. Huh. Oh, I think I know what I might have done.
You log us out.
One moment, please. Thanks for hanging with us, guys. We'll get back onto it and actually make things happen in just a minute or two. I know it's been a teasing day if you've been around. We had stuff go up earlier, and it was not good. It was it was bad things, but we should be doing good now.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go. All right, let's see how that works. Give you guys the full rundown on what was going on. There we go. Now I can see it. Now we're live. I don't know if I've ever heard that phrase, one of those days, but I'm a little worried that today is one of those days, because we've had some things happen. Some stuff has definitely been going on today. But hello, we made it. Welcome. It's Friday afternoon. We're live. We're hanging out. I'm not sure if some of you caught. I wanted to experiment a little bit with multi-streaming through mobile. So I actually set my phone up to multi-stream, and same way we do multi-streams here, and tried to run it, and it did not go well. So I don't know if any of you caught that around 11 o'clock or so. It was not an impressive thing. It was choppy, messy, and I apologize. So hopefully nobody got their expectations up. And then, because we're messing with that, we accidentally bumped a switch in YouTube that was preventing it from going live just now. Now, everything should be up and running and awesome again. So, anyhow, hi, how's it going? If we haven't met before, I'm Aaron, and we're going to spend some time modeling. With me today, on the other side of the computer, helping monitor comments, and he'll be the guy typing as SketchUp or SketchUp Official in the comments, is our good buddy Josh. So say hi, Josh.
Greetings, everybody.
Josh isn't okay with the "Hey Josh" joke. He's he's got a different level. So yeah, hope everybody's doing well. Yorkshire, England, we got. Yeah, I apologize, Andy. That was it did not go well. It was rough. I'm not sure what it is. We streamed it's pretty easy to stream to single platforms, but we like to stream to 2 or 3 most of the time, YouTube, Facebook, and then we do Twitch. So it's nice to not neglect anybody and say, we'll only be on Facebook this week or something like that. So I was trying to give us the option of, if we're ever mobile or anything like that, to be able to do something, but apparently multi-streaming is not the thing that's going to work. At least not the way that we had that solution set up. So I don't know if it was wireless or if it was my phone or if it was the app. I don't really know, but it wasn't good. Yeah. So anyhow, Andy's out disc jockeying tonight, so I'll have to watch it later. Well, thanks for coming by and saying hi at the very least. And yeah, I think I saw, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the rerun will still be good.
Yeah, it'll be just as good.
It'll be outdated, but still useful.
That's right. It'll be old, but it's hopefully still relevant when you watch it tomorrow. Alejandro Soriano, I think, is signed in on 2 different formats. I think I saw him say hello on Facebook and on Twitch. So you guys got it going on. He's getting twice as much SketchUp as the rest of you guys. Yeah, Andy, we deserve as much fun as you want to poke at what we had going on there. And Alejandro is confirming he is, in fact, everywhere. So good to know. Hello, Germany. Nico, how's it going? All right, so this is going to be a fun one. We've done one of these before. We did one other Ask Me to Model Anything, and it was good, but I'll be honest, it did get a little weird. If any of you joined, you know we started, I think the first thing we started was a Mobius strip. So a one-sided surface, not two-sided like a piece of paper has a front and a back, but an actual piece of material that has only one side. That went okay. And then from there, we did Stormbreaker from Avengers, and that was okay also. And then it just kind of started to get weird because we did a human face and a tree and a bug and something else, and it was definitely a good time, but it was very unusual. It was unique. It was a unique experience, but we liked it enough. Everybody seemed to enjoy it enough. We decided we'll give it another shot. We'll try it again. We'll go live with a AMTMA, not to be confused with an AMA like you'd see on Reddit. This is SketchUp Live. We have extra letters, so we're gonna do an AMTMA, and this is gonna be fun. So, hey, Will in Australia, Mohammed, how's it going? John Brown from Ontario. Hello, Aaron. Elton, UK. Whoa. At Mika from Pradeksha? I don't know. I do a good job of murdering other people's country names with my dumb American mouth, so I apologize already, but welcome to the stream. Marconi, happy Friday to you too. We made it. We got through another week. Welcome back.
What do you think about golf balls?
Somebody already threw out a golf ball. That's not a bad idea. That would be something. Hey, Niraj, how's it going? Khaled, I'm glad you guys all made it. So thanks for coming. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we're going to dive in. First thing I want to throw out there, of course, is as per usual, we did start a topic on the forum, AMTMA, in the happening section. And we already have some people posting pictures of ideas, pictures and text. Ansi, who was not happy with just the Mobius strip, wants a Klein bottle, which is a 3D shape with only one side. It looks like this. So this is a shape where the inside crosses over the outside, and technically it only has one plane. I'm going to sit on that for now. I'm gonna hold off on that one. It looks like fun, and actually last time we did this, somebody posted a GIF of modeling this shape. So it is a thing. It does get done, but we'll have to keep that in the back pocket in case you run out of ideas. Just because I have no idea how to do it, and I don't know if it'd be learny so much as groany of a model. As you have ideas, you guys are already got it figured out. Putting in comments. Let us know ideas. That's awesome. So I already saw some things in there. Staircase. A couple other things went by. Golf ball. Keep throwing those in there. Josh is going to keep an eye on the best ideas. What we're shooting for, the ideal model is about 20 to 30 minutes of modeling. So we're not looking at a comprehensive. Somebody mentioned a Porsche, I think. That was one of the first comments. Awesome idea. Probably not going to do a Porsche justice in 30 minutes. I'm hoping to do 5, 6, 7 models during this and not just spend time on one model. This is like rapid fire modeling. We're going to get through a bunch of things. So yeah, so that's appreciate the idea. It'll have to go on the list for longer models in the future. Speaking of Porsches, I did want to call this project. I like to look at something that's going on, and I love the gallery section of our forum. If you guys aren't on the forum already, I know I do this every week, but you should check it out because it's an awesome community. It's a great place to get questions answered, but it's also a nice place to show off your work, show it to people who use SketchUp and that kind of thing. And this was a model that I just, from Tangle 07, I don't know if you're on right now, but very cool model. He's modeling the pieces of a 1970 Porsche. So he's starting with stuff like the engine block here, and he's got some organic modeling, and you can see he's got this kind of blocked in, and he's just building the pieces out. Looks like it's going to be a very cool model. So it's one that I'm going to follow and just keep an eye on and see how that turns out. Pictures of the gearbox that he modeled. So just a cool model. Something to take a look at. Yeah, neat model. All right, so having done that, we do have more and more questions coming through. Paper airplane. That could actually be a pretty fun one. It's a quick one.
Ooh, I like that one.
Somebody's asking for a spinning wheel. I am going to do a full spinning wheel in a future live model. I found some plans for one, and it is very cool. It's a bunch of wooden pieces. It'll be a fun model, but it's definitely not a half-hour model. So I'm not blowing that one off. I'm setting it aside for later because it is going to be a cool one. So one of the first things we had in here, first requested, is right here. I know we just did an Android, just did a robot, but this looks like a good warm-up model. We could spend about 15-20 minutes on DO. I don't know if it'll be pronounced do or D0, but it's D/O, which is a little droid that kind of got all of a second in the new Rise of Skywalker Star Wars trailer. So we're just going to whip him out real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time on this. It'll be a fun way to start. And a couple people are asking for the SketchUp office. I got to be totally straight with you guys. It's not that exciting.
Yeah, I'm going to veto that one right now.
It's an office building, which I know that's not surprising. We're an office building. But as offices go, it's kind of a, that kind of thing. And the room that we're in right now, if you caught the super choppy stream earlier, you saw this is literally just a rectangular room with these things on the walls, and it's not exciting.
It's got its own special charm, but it doesn't need to be 3D modeled.
No. I mean, if you can draw a rectangle on the ground, pull it up to about 9 feet, you've nailed this room. All right. So
the front runner, I think, I kind of like paper airplane.
Yeah, I like that. So we'll do DO here, and then we'll hop onto a paper airplane, and we'll keep going from there.
Just for something, simple and
get it all started.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't really, I honestly, like I said, having seen the trailer, I think I saw this droid for about 2 seconds, and somebody found a good image and shared it on the forum. So we're going to use that. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I won't, whoops, leave my notepad where it is. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to slide this over like this and make room. And I'm just going to model from this photo reference. This won't be the most accurate, obviously. I'm going to start at the top and work my way down. I don't know what the back of his head looks like, so I'm going to make some assumptions there. But what I'm seeing is a circle. So I'll make a circle like this. I'm going to bring this up like this. Grab this circle. Use scale, modifier key to scale around the origin. Maybe move that up just ever so slightly. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm seeing there for the head. There is a break here where it changes from one color to another, so all I'm going to do is make a plane on the ground, move it vertically, move it vertically some more, right about there. I'm going to say intersect face with, whoops, not selection, oh no, intersect face with model.
Nice move.
And all right, that's going to give me that. A little bit of a vent here. I'm going to offset this, push this down, and which way is up? I'm gonna do quick and easy vents here. I'm just going to use line tool real quick. We did a couple different vents on Claptrap last week, so if vents are a thing that you really geek out on, if that's a thing, then go check that out, because these are not going to be impressive, but this is going to give the illusion of vents. So I don't quite want to just leave it like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take every other one and just pull it a little bit. And that's going to give me, like I said, kind of just that venti look.
And a good tip with that double click on the push-pull is the slower you double click, the easier it will be to get those to work.
Yes. All right. I'm going to make that a group, and I'm going to turn it. I don't know what the back of his head looks like I said, but I do want to do something. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of shape by grabbing it. And I'm going to just pull it off like this. Pull it off axes and just give it a little bit of something there. I have no idea if that's what it actually looks like or not. But all right. So there, piece number 1. I'm going to jump ahead and model the circle, this wheel, his wheel, and then we'll connect it up with this geometry right here. The black pearl from Pirates of the Caribbean. Whew. That would be a fun one. That would be more time consuming than 20 minutes, but that would be a fun one.
Can't you just color your other one black?
That's true. I did do a pirate ship. You guys can always go check that out if you want to see. That was something. That was a fun one. It's white, but all right. So I feel like this has 2 things going on. It looks like most of this wheel is flat, and then maybe it tilts in a little bit. So I'm going to do something like that. I'm going to say this goes like this, and then I need to put that up there. So I'm going to grab that line right there. I'm going to use rotate off the midpoint to copy that from one side to the other, and I'm going to do a single arc top to bottom. Pull that out.
You have a captive audience, Aaron, because the chatter has slowed. Everyone is intently watching.
Cool. Everybody relax. I'm just going to do a quick follow me with this shape. I can delete this. Close it up. And make that into a group as well. One of the reasons I'm making these pieces into a group is I really like to moving stuff around. I mean, separate geometry. I don't want geometry joined together. But when I have to do rotating, it is kind of nice to have these little handles right here. It's real easy to just rotate and move stuff around. Whoa, that's almost perfectly lined up. It is too big. It's not wide enough. So I'm sorry, Mark. You got to go. All right, so I'm going to grab this. I'm going to use scale. I'm going to hit Option to scale about the middle, make it a little bit wider. It does look like it's wider. It is definitely smaller though, so I'm also going to grab this. I'm going to hold down Shift to uniformly resize that, and that looks closer. Kind of wondering if this robot is actually just a hair drying droid. Kind of looks like he's got, now that I look at this, he's definitely got a hair dryer mouth. All right. So that's looking pretty close to what we got here. I'm going to come to the center here. I'm going to throw a circle right in the middle of this circle. This wasn't a circle, this is actually a surface I threw on here. So I'm just going to drag out like that. I'm going to pull this out. Not quite that much, just a touch. I'm going to offset this bigger. And then pull that surface out like that. A little more. And then he's got like this, it looks like a square bracket coming out of this piece of material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and draw a couple lines across like this. I'm going to come in, say, okay, apparently I'll come in 3/16 of an inch because that's what I just did. And draw a line across there. Same thing here, I'm gonna come in 3/16 of an inch, draw a line across to here. Now what I'm doing is I'm actually creating geometry. Whoops, that was not the right, well it shows it, but I'm drawing geometry on the inside. So as I come across 3/16 and draw it across, I'm actually creating a surface inside of this cylinder. Now, what I can do is I'm going to zoom, poke my head inside here, grab that surface, and bring it up. If I turn that off again, I got geometry intersected geometry, so I'm going to triple click real quick, intersect faces with selection. All right, there we go. And I can smooth these lines back out. All right, with that, I'm going to put a circle in the middle of this rectangle. And I'm going to pull that up here. And I have a similar shape on the other side, but you can see it's actually not quite the same. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna come in here with another rectangle and go to the center, hit my modifier key to draw from the center, and I'm gonna draw just inside here like this. So this is 11/16. I'm gonna hold down Shift. See if I can come out a little bit more than that. How big do I want to go? That's what I'm trying to figure out. It looks like 1 3/16 is about right. So I'm gonna say in 1 space 3/16, comma 1 space 3/16. There we go. And take that, extend that up. And then that kind of goes right into the circular piece. It's not quite the same as down here. So I'm gonna do this one a little bit differently too. I'm gonna take a line and draw it straight up just a little bit. I'm gonna take a circle and bring it out like this. Oop, I gotta get on plane first. So I'm gonna make sure it's in the green, pull it out to here. And then I'm just gonna take that surface, bring it through. Right click and orient faces to get that back. All right, so that looks a little closer to what we got going on here. We do have a circle in the middle. Hey, we're doing Star Wars again. This is totally unintentional. It keeps happening. All right, looks good. I'm gonna grab all of that and make that a separate group. I'm not making components right now, no particular reason. Honestly, I'm just feeling kind of lazy and don't want to name anything, I think is the real thing there. All right, so this does kind of lean forward a little bit, so I'm just going to grab it, go back to that center point. And tilt it forward just a touch. And right here, I'm going to start with just another rectangle. I'm going to center the rectangle right here. So I'm going to go to my rectangle again, Option. And I'm just going to draw something like this. I'm going to take that something, pull it across to here. And I don't know what size it is, and I don't care. I just need geometry, because with a rectangle that's in plane like this, it's real easy to just use push-pull to kind of mock up that shape. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly where this shape is at, but it's something like this. So it needs to be a little bit taller.
There's a question about the device used in your left hand.
Oh, what, this old thing?
That old thing.
Yeah, let me throw an arc on here, and then I will take a look at that. All right, so that's kind of the shape I'm seeing right here. This is my 3D mouse. So what a 3D mouse does is it takes over the process of orbiting and zooming. You can see here, as I just move this around, my hand's totally off the mouse, and I can do all those other controls with just that mouse. That leaves my mouse available to pick commands, or actually use it in tandem a lot, so I'll spin and zoom at the same time by scrolling up or down as I spin. That happens a lot. Or as I'm spinning around, I might come over here and grab another tool that I want to use. It's real nice because it just makes it a lot easier. I don't have to worry about where, or it's one less thing that I have to do with my mouse. The other thing that's nice about it is it does rotate nice and smooth. So you can see this. As SketchUp users, we get used to seeing this, right? As I spin around. Or if I want to zoom in here. Like, that's what I get used to as I'm using it. If you present a lot, if you show your models off to people, this is actually a very nice way to present what you're seeing. So, or what you're showing. It's a little bit smoother, not quite as jumpy. It just makes your model look a little bit better. Absolutely not a requirement to run SketchUp. Most SketchUp users just stick with the 3D mouse. I happen to use this because I do so much 3D modeling and so much presentation. But it is called a Space Mouse Enterprise from the company 3D Connection. It's worth checking out. If you do a lot of 3D modeling and you show your models to a lot of people, definitely worth at least checking out, finding out about it. Mine is, like I said, it's called the Enterprise. It actually has a bunch of programmable buttons on here too, so my modifier keys, my 12 most used commands are up here, but it is a nice option. A nice way to take your SketchUp game to the next level. All right, I'm gonna triple click on this and make it a group. It's not quite big enough. It doesn't, you can see it's not quite the same scale, so I'm gonna just use Shift to uniformly scale it up again. Maybe I'll slide it forward a little bit. It's looking better. This is not centered, so I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna grab it right by the middle piece here and then put it in line with that. There we go. Bring that down. And we have kind of a, I don't know what the name for these things are, but kind of a accordion looking thing. There I go again with the technical terms. I'm sorry, guys. Get all droid speaky. I'm gonna cut some corners on this because we are rapidly approaching that half-hour limit I put on myself. So I'm gonna do something here that's going to kind of simulate what's happening here. First off, it looks like there's a little white piece, so I'm gonna assume that's kind of a like plastic collar or something, I don't know. And then from there, I'm gonna go make that kind of accordion thing. There's a couple ways I could do this. I could do it with follow me, yeah, actually I'm gonna do that because I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna offset this. I'm gonna put an arc on each corner. So I'm gonna draw the first arc tangent to both edges. That's gonna give me the purple arc. I'm gonna double click. It's gonna erase that arc. Now if I move without leaving the arc command and just double click in these other corners, it just chops them off automatically. Now I'm gonna draw a line from here. I'm gonna go straight up to where I meet this. Which way am I going? Green axes. I'm gonna bring the green axes over, I don't know, a little bit. I'm just getting a work plane right now. And what I'm gonna do is, actually I'm gonna hide the head real quick. So I can come in here and I can do, let's see, divide this by 1, 2, 3-ish. So that's gonna be 1, 2, do something like this. Yes, I'm making stuff up again. All right, I'm gonna draw a line like this, and I'm just gonna create a zigzag pattern. Just snapping the midpoints, just getting that geometry in there. All right, now I can actually get rid of all this geometry and these little lines out here, and then double click to grab that surface, follow me, click here, and I overlapped myself on the inside, so I'll just get rid of those. All right, like I said, I was cutting corners a little bit because what this should do is this should kind of smush down in the middle. It looks like it's supposed to be soft, and then that's where that head sits in there. It gives them probably a pivot sort of thing, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna unhide. Yeah, I'm gonna say something like that. I'm gonna rotate that just slightly. Oop, it's coming at me. All right, there we go. All right, so I might grab all of that then. Whoop, didn't make that a group. All right, so, oh, we got a couple antennas. Hold up, 1 second. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna just make a circle on the ground, very small circle, I'm going to take it up like that. That's actually too big still, isn't it? An even smaller circle. I'm going to go like this. And then it looks like he's got a little something at the end there. So I'm just going to say offset this ever so slightly and pull that up. All right, and here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to grab this. I'm wandering into uncharted territory. This is where I'm going to make a mistake, and I'm going to screw this up so you don't have to, because I'm a generous guy. I'm going to take this thing right now.
Thanks, Aaron.
That's what I do. I'm going to make it a component, and I'm going to call it antenna, and I'm going to say glue to any surface. And that gives me, see that flat surface right there? That's a surface it's going to glue to. I'm going to go ahead and create it. Now, I'm going to open my component browser. Look at what's in this. I'm going to grab my antenna, and see it's just sticking to my mouse like it normally does, but when I come over to this curved surface, I can actually drop it on there, and it's going to align to that surface. Because it does look like these antennas.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, there we go. Sputnik. Kind of go off like that. So they may not be the exact right scale. I might have to come in here and maybe I'll hit scale and bring them down a little bit. But by putting it in there at the group and using glue to, I don't have to worry about aligning it to that surface. Because I could do that. I could go in and grab my rotate command and go rotate on different axes and that kind of stuff. But if I don't have to, then, ooh, that was way off.
I nominate that for the tip of the day so far.
That was good stuff. Sometimes I surprise myself. All right. So there we go. That is my quick modeling rendition of
That is most definitely a thing.
what might be called M-O, M0, Mo, Moo, Ma. I don't know what he's called, but I'm going to go ahead and save him. I'm going to go up here and call this MO. We'll see what happens. Last time, all of our models of our AMTMA ended up in a single model, which I uploaded to Warehouse. We'll see if something like that happens again, but that's one. That's our first one. Got a suggestion on the forum for a wood clamp. That would be pretty cool. I'm gonna hold on to that one. Because first I want to do a paper airplane, because that sounds like fun. So Dave had ideas. Dave on here? Have we seen Dave yet today?
Does Dave just want you to model that so he doesn't have to? You can
Knowing
send it over
Dave, he suggested it and then went and modeled it himself.
Yeah, he's
probably
probably
already done
done.
with it. Love you, Dave. Dave. I don't know if Dave's here.
He has not. I haven't seen him in the chat unless I missed him.
Yeah. Chesterfield sofa. If you got a good picture of that, Gabriel, go ahead and throw that up on the forum in the topic, because I'd love to see that. A Jerry, Toby, I don't know what that is. So, I don't know. I'm going to estimate it's about 10 to 20 hours-ish, because I don't know what it is.
That sounds about right.
A bellows. That is probably what that squishy thing is. Yeah, I like that. Steve put up a Twitter link. Let me see if I can click on it and what happened. No, turns out I'm working on a monitor. Can't click on it.
It just goes to the that little droid dude.
Oh, okay. Is that he has his own Twitter? He probably has more people on it than I do too. Hi everyone. Oh, yep. This shirt was a present from my wife. She got that for me when she was out one day, because she knows me. All
So
right.
I believe so. There was a mention of a jacket over a human figure, and then someone said they won't be able to do that. So a bit of a challenge brewing, perhaps.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? One of the things I mentioned this at the end of the last one. I want to do another organic model at some point. Trying to come up with a good idea for what that would be. It'd be cool to do one comprehensive organic model. Like I said, not sure what. I was going towards like a human hand or something like that, but clothes are definitely rough. They're definitely difficult. They're totally, you can do it. I've seen a couple people do things like pants or that kind of thing using sub D or an add-in like that. So not saying no, but I know it's probably not something we'll do in this particular one. If we were to do something sub D, I think somebody said a desk fan or something like that. Something like that might be a little more fun and a little more appropriate. Maybe we can do something like that. Hey, Dwayne, welcome back. Thanks for sharing. A giraffe. I don't dislike that idea. Maybe that will be our next live model. Or next organic model will be a giraffe.
That sounds fun.
Oh, I have a feeling I will offend giraffe lovers everywhere.
I feel like the texture for that could be the water texture and then colored orange.
I like that. 100 or 0 opacity, make it solid. All right, paper plane. I'm gonna start real. I'm gonna start with a normal size piece of paper. So I'm gonna say 8.5, 11. A US piece of paper. It's not an A4. This is a US letter piece of paper. And I started thinking about this when you mentioned it. I'm gonna do something to make everything easier for me. I'm gonna cut this piece of paper in half. Well, first, let's go ahead and color it. Let's go color it all white. So right now we have the default material on it, which means it's white on one side, gray on the other. I'm not gonna model depth to this because it's paper. So I'm just gonna color both sides white. I'm gonna cut it in half, and I'm gonna take that and make a component. And I'm gonna call it half paper. And now I'm gonna take that and make a copy of it. I'm going to use scale to flip it 100% and then put it right back here.
Nice move.
Now, when I take this piece, I'm gonna go into this piece of paper and let's see, I'm gonna fold it right here to start with. Grab that piece right there. I'm gonna use my rotate command now. What I wanna do is I wanna take that half of the paper and rotate it at 90 degrees to this piece. I can't, if I rotate here, I'm gonna end up with this weirdness, not good. If I rotate on the red axis, I'm gonna end up with this weirdness, also not good. What I wanna do is I wanna use this line right here as the center of rotation. So I'm going to click at one point. I'm gonna, in a very rare case, this is something you really don't do very often, you shouldn't do very often in SketchUp, I'm gonna click and drag my mouse along this line and then release anywhere along that line. And I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna then fold it over to, I'm gonna try to not fold everything to absolute 0. So I'm gonna go, rather than going 180 degrees, I'm gonna say like 178. So I'm just off of folding it totally flat. Because you know, when you make a paper airplane, it never works out nice. It's always like a little bit of bumps. I guess that's because paper has depth. All right, I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna rotate, drag along this line, grab this and fold it back over this way. Let's see, if I folded it back down, that'd be 180, so I'm gonna go 178 again. No, I'm gonna go 182. There we go. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I'm gonna grab this surface, and this surface now. And I'm gonna rotate it like this. I'm making a very unique airplane. Shut up, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. I gotta remember how to make a paper airplane. Okay. So what I actually want to do, forgive me. I want to make a fold at 45 degrees right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this line and I'm going to option rotate it 45 degrees. Get rid of this. Now I can grab this, like I was saying before. I'll grab that and rotate it. I guess we should rotate it in. And I'll do 189 or 179. Nope, 181. There we go. So it's not quite connecting, because I like to cause problems for myself in the future. That's why I do that. All right, same thing here. We'll rotate this up like this. And now I'm going to come across here, and I'm going to go from, say, here to here. I'm going to grab this surface and this surface. I'm going to rotate that, click on this line, drag it, and fold that over like that. So I got a little bit of an overlap right here. So I'm going to need to break this little piece off, just this piece right here now, and take it and fold it back down into this crack, like that. Oops, I went too far. It's stuck out the other side. All right, so I'm gonna try one more time. Bring it down. I'm trying to hide it in the existing fold. I don't know. It might be too close right now. Yeah, it's sticking out just a little bit. 85 degrees. Actually, I'm gonna, because no, I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat. Here's what I'm gonna do. The line was a little too close to this, so I'm gonna bring it over a little bit more. Go try that. Let's see. Take that to straight down. That was the wrong direction. All right, this should be easy because I should be able to flip it to 180 now. All right, click right there. Start at the top, and we should be able to just go straight down. Oh, it's so close. All right, I'm about done with this. Start here. I'm just gonna type 180, enter, see how that is. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. That's Z fighting right there. All right, so there's my paper airplane. So if we were to back way up and Mark were to throw it, it would go. I got to really complete this look. I get rid of my axes so I can go. What more could you ask for?
Believable. So the Chesterfield sofa has appeared on the forum.
All right, let's take a
and
peek.
Goose has
Oops.
chimed in with a Oktoberfest beer stein suggestion.
All right. Woo. Chesterfield sofa. We got some dimples in that thing, huh? All right, that's interesting. I'm not opposed to it at all. I'm just trying to think of how much would be realistically modelable in our time frame.
Are you trying to stay away from extensions?
Not at all. So I'm thinking of soap bubble skinning.
Yeah, because if you soap bubble one of those four-sided deals there.
Yeah, we'll go for it because I am a glutton for punishment. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this.
I'm quite excited because it's not a secret that my favorite extension is the soap bubble.
It is absolutely true.
I love it.
All right, let's go ahead. Let's clear these guys out. All right. I don't know if I'm going to do exactly that couch, but I'm going to do a couch. All right, I'm going to start with, because we're, because of time and stuff, I'm going to throw together some real quick shapes here. Make that a group. That's going to be my base. I'm going to draw a rectangle right here for one cushion. Put in just a little bit, Because what I want to do is I want to give this cushion a little bit of a, you know, another technical term for you, a poof. Whoa. Stick on the green axes, not much, just a little bit of a rounded corner there. I'll do that just with regular follow me. Regular follow me, keeping it simple. All right. And I'm going to take that, slide it over here. So it's got a little bit of a roundness there. So I'm going to grab a line like that. Create a rectangle right there. Grab that rectangle. Copy it over here. Obviously, I'm not quite symmetrical because that same size arm didn't fit on both sides. So let's skinny these cushions up just a touch. Oh, I did not make them a component, so it didn't copy. Didn't do the same thing. All right, and in the interest of winging it and not doing anything accurate, I'm just gonna draw some lines. And we got a couch. All right, so like I said, this is gonna be a little different because I think what I'm gonna shoot for is I really want to get that is that tufted? Is that what that thing is?
Yeah.
Is that a tufted couch? That's the part I'm interested in doing. I'm not, the thing I'm intentionally thinking I'm gonna stay away from is rounding over the arms. Totally doable. I was actually thinking about how I might use Fredo scale or something like that. For right now, I'm not gonna worry about that. I just wanna try to get tuft? I don't know. I'm gonna make this a group to isolate some geometry. And I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna start dividing some stuff up. I can't tell you what my plan is right now because I'm making things up a lot right now. So what I want is
deep button tufting.
Deep button tufting. That makes a lot of sense. That sounds like something, well, it sounds like something we would make up here, but there was silence before you answered that, which led me to believe you probably actually looked it up.
Yeah, I figured there was more to the just tufting. Tufting sounded just not enough.
All right. So I'm going to...
There's a question from Alberto. What are the advantages of SketchUp Pro? First of all, one advantage is it's great software.
Nailed it in one. If you're comparing, I guess it depends on what you're comparing it to. I mean, one of the big things that I always like to talk about and brag on with SketchUp is ease of use. I mean, hold on, make component.
I'm also a little biased. If someone asks me, if you're talking about what's, SketchUp Pro versus other versions, layout to me is a great feature of SketchUp Pro.
Right. Yeah, so that's where I was going is if you're talking about SketchUp versus other software, then I would say ease of use is a big thing. You can learn it so much quicker. It's so much more flexible. It lets you model what you want to model instead of telling you have these tools, you can only model certain things. So I like it for that. If you're saying
No
SketchUp Pro
boundaries.
versus like web or something like that, then the advantage is, one of the big ones is getting access to layout for sure. All right, so you guys saw what I did there. I created a single component. What was this thing called? Chesterfield. All right. So I modeled one triangle and I just offset them so it would fit inside there. Now what I'm thinking is to grab this and head into my extensions. I actually have, so I know, and forgive me, Josh, I'm not trying to talk rude about your favorite extension. But one of the things that gets me with it is if you have Soap, Skin, and Bubble installed, it starts up every time. Like even if you turn the UI off, the UI shows up when you start it. So a lot of times I end up turning it off when I.
So you mean you don't use it for every project?
Alas. Nope, don't do that much. I don't do that many sales or tufted couches.
That's how I start every models. I just do something with that extension and then I move on.
Let's start by tufting this thing. I know we're here to do some landscape design, but let's tuft the grass.
Might I suggest a file save? Oh no, you did that. You did it already.
Yeah,
I see the name up
but
there.
that is a great plan. It never hurts to save, right?
Yeah, you saved
You
recently.
guys know. I love the save. If only I had my reminder shirt on. All right, let's go find soap bubble. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this surface. It's alone. It's actually alone in the component. So if I was to turn off everything else, you'd see I'm just working on one of these. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm gonna come here to component, say hide the rest of my model, and hide similar components. So I'm just working on one diamond shape. Then I can say skin that. Because this is such a small shape and we're gonna get such an extreme bubble out of it, I'm actually gonna increase the number of divisions. If you look down the lower right corner, it says right now that it's gonna put in 10 divisions. Hey, I never think about this green screen thing, but I can go that down there in that lower right corner down there, it says 10 divisions. Sorry, that was lost on Josh, you can't see. So I'm gonna bump that up to 20.
Yeah.
There we go.
Now I'm confused.
And hit enter. So it's gonna create that. Now what I can do is I can actually take that. So I want to get all the rest of this geometry minus, whoops. Sorry, I'm trying to get my redundant geometry out of there. There we go. So now we just have, when you use Soap Bubble to create that geometry, it creates a new group over top of your existing geometry and leaves your existing geometry there. So at some point, sooner or later, you got to get rid of the existing geometry. Once I have that, I can bubble that surface. So I put 100 on there. Not impressive. It's going the wrong way. I want it to come out this way, so I'm going to put a minus on it. I'm going to say minus 200.
Ooh.
It's got a little bit of a bubble. For those of you who can't see small movement, I'm going to hit minus 500. Come on. Bring it out. Ooh, that's better.
Cool.
Getting there. So one of the things that you will see, and again, I'm just pointing this out, is the way it actually does this. There is more tension on the surface here where it connects to the edge versus here where it's in the middle, because it's simulating pressure like a bubble. So if you think about blowing a bubble, you know, it comes out and it's not a perfect half sphere or anything like that. So I'm going to see that it's going to be a little straighter here and a little more bulging right in the middle. So let's go a little bit bigger. Let's go minus.
Yeah, I'm no
750.
Chesterfield expert, but that's medium button tufting.
Yeah, let's go deep button. Ooh, that might be good. All right, so just to check how this looks, I'm gonna go to my view component edit and turn off hide similar components. And we can look at a wall of these tufts.
Cool.
All right, that looks pretty close. Just for fun, I'm gonna say minus 1,000.
Whoa. Be careful.
Get ready. Oh, there we go.
That's
It
deep
showed
button
up.
tufting.
There we
right
go. We've accomplished the deep tuft
Now we know it's negative 1,000 units of pressure.
for specifically this size, whatever that size is. All right, I'm gonna go in here to one of them again. I'm gonna triple click. I'm going to soften and smooth because tufts don't have squares drawn on them, at least not on a Chesterfield. I'm also going to reverse my face. So my white's pointing out, and I'm going to click out to exit. That looks pretty cool. That's some good tufting. All right. So as I look at this, I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab most of it, and I'm going to go from bottom right here, option. Oops. Oh, I grabbed my piece from behind. I copy it up to make it big because I'm going to try to do something stupid. All right. Pull these out just a touch. Okay, so oh, we could come in here too. I could come into this and I could bring a line straight out like this, draw a circle on the green axes, pull it out like that. Actually make that a group. And I'm going to pull that straight back, lock the green axes, and put it right there. All right, so that's some sweet tufting. Sweet, sweet tufting. Now, I'm going to try to take this and wrap it over the back of the couch as it appears to be. Actually, I'm coming here. I'm going to get rid of this geometry. I'm going to save before I do anything else. That might be it. This might be the end of my tufting. But no, because I'm going to come in here. I'm going to go to Tool Palettes, and I'm going to grab Fredo Scale, and I'm going to use this thing called Radial Bending.
Sounds fun.
We'll see. So I'm going to
I have a good feeling about this.
I just asked it to, I probably should have exploded that geometry, I'm thinking right now. Good thing I just saved. Well, while that happens, let's check out the comments, shall we? Buttons, gotcha, took care of that. You have any YouTube channel? Yes, our official SketchUp YouTube channel is found as SketchUp on the YouTube channel. So you can check that out. We put out lots of videos, a very active YouTube channel. So please swing by and check that out.
I'll toss a link in there.
Yeah. Josh will put up a link to our YouTube channel. This is a 3D mouse. Somebody asked about this. We covered it a little bit earlier, but this actually allows you to rotate in 3D space without using the standard mouse for drawing. Mad Robot's been using it for quite a few years. Is there something to do similar to Fusion? What? Want to change part of the... Oh, so if you do end up with too complex... Woo! Our tufting folded.
Oh, yeah.
Mad Robot's asking a question about complex models. So much of it comes down to good model management. If you are putting your pieces into groups and assigning those groups to layers, it's going to be a lot easier to go back and edit later on. If you aren't doing that, if you're just keeping everything in a big model, then yeah, it can be painful to have to make changes at a later point. So my big recommendation would be don't do that. Do keep an eye on how your geometry is made. All right, I'm going to make one more here. We're going to look at the rest of the comments. So I'm going to stay on the red axes again. I'm going to say fold from here to about here. try again. So fold this. I did that wrong. Escape. I want to fold along this much. All right, we're going to see what happens. Nope, not going to model stitches. Thanks for asking. Can you model a house from scratch? Not in 30 minutes. Actually, that's not true. I could model a heck of an exterior of a house in 30 minutes. It would be a 30 minutes worth of house. We do have some videos that go through the architectural modeling process up on our channel. We actually have a playlist, which we call our architectural playlist, because we're crafty and creative with names like that. But it actually shows that process of creating just the house from scratch, or not from scratch, it's actually from a reference drawing, but it does cover the steps. Hi, Jacob EQ, welcome to our channel. All right, what is my favorite extension? It depends what I'm doing. If you guys have watched, you know that I do like to play with sub D a lot because I do like organic modeling. It's a fun thing to do, and it's a fun workflow. So maybe there. I know Josh. I mean, outside of, so you already said you like soap, skin, and bubble. Is there another one that you're just like awesome extension that you really like?
Yeah, like you're saying, it really depends what you're doing because there's some extensions I don't use a lot that I think are really cool, like Chris Fulmer's, some of his color ones are really cool, like Color by Z, which isn't as useful in a lot of stuff I do, but I just think it's cool.
I think that's true too, because I think there's some cool extensions like Flowify is an awesome extension, but I just rarely come up with a thing where I'm like, oh, this is the thing I need to be using. I just don't hit that very often with it. Plus, I'm just not good. I don't use it often enough. I'm not good at using it. I always end up making a mess with it, but it is pretty cool.
And then Selection Toys need some love, even though it's not it's a different kind of extension in terms of, just lets you do things a lot more efficiently. But
yeah,
that's an underrated extension for sure. Selection Toys.
Yeah, that's actually Selection Toys is probably one of my whatever's before number one. Because it's just one of those base functionality things. It's something I install so early when I get a new version of software that I kind of think of it as part of the software, but it is actually an add-on.
Yeah, I've done trainings where I have to ask the crowd if they have that context menu thing because I keep forgetting that it's part of the extension.
Yeah. All right, so
looks pretty comfortable there.
That's pretty cool. So what I would probably do if so something happened here. That would be a little bit of cleanup. What I would probably do at this point is I would grab this. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh yeah, I need to spin this 180 degrees. All right, so this would get me close to what's going on there. It's so ugly and weird looking. But you get the idea. So one of the things that this method of modeling does, I mean, for a quick mock-up, that was pretty fast. One of the issues I run into at this point is where in the image I'm looking at, where this kind of puffs out and ends up in the arm that wraps all the way around here, that would be pretty hard to do with a single piece. You'd probably end up making pieces that kind of, maybe come all the way across. I don't know. You'd have to come up with some weird geometry to fill in this gap. and then puff that up too, and then copy that. This top piece would just be a totally custom piece. You could absolutely do that. It would just be, like I said, a little more time than we're gonna spend on any individual model. I wonder if there's a direction I could look at this like it looks like a complete thing. Maybe if I just come in like this. Nice.
If you zoom out far enough, I'm sure it'll be look done.
Look from below. I get the arms in the way of the holes, but don't show the stuff sticking out the back like that. Sweet tufted couch, kind of. I come in here, I chop off half this geometry. Give me a couple more. One more row here. All right, there we go. Now I can. It looks all right. I keep thinking of jesters for some reason because these things hanging down look like jester hats to me or something, but it's like the royal jester couch. Someone's asking about reducing poly count in models. That is an awesome question. So I do try to be conscious of how many polygons I add to my model. This is a lot, actually. Let's go look at what this one ended up with. Let's go model info. I'm curious. So this ended up with, well, just under 100,000 faces, which is a lot for a couch. But if I was modeling it, well, I shouldn't say that's bad. I mean, that's not terrible. If this was headed towards, but obviously hasn't quite got there, a rendered model, if this was something I was going to dump into a render, put lighting on, reflection maps, that kind of stuff, make it shiny leather, I would probably actually add even more. I would have probably gone with like maybe 30 or 40 divisions rather than just 20.
But what's cool about the way you modeled it is if you just modify one of those components, you could low poly or high poly it.
Right, so I could actually increase or decrease this one. There's not a single button that is like polygon decimation, but there is an extension called Skimp. And Skimp is from Mindsight Studios, and it is an awesome tool that does just that. It actually takes geometry and does a decimation and reduces it. So it's a good one. And there's another one, what's the other one? Transmuter? Is that it?
Yeah. I'm putting a link to Skimp right now.
Which does something very similar, where it uses a geometry engine to reduce the number of polygons. So if you run into a situation where you work on models or you import models, importing is actually a bigger thing for most SketchUp users, where you end up with too many polygons, something like Skimp or Transmuter might save you, because it's a great way to reduce geometry in your model. So if you run into that, then yeah, check that out. All right.
Question about, do all parts remain components after bending?
No. So, well, yes, they're components, but they're not the same component. So if I come in here and I double click on one of these, see what happens? I got all of them that aren't bent. If I come up to these as they start to bend, these actually all ended up as their own individual components. They're showing up two or three times because I copied the back onto the arms. But every time, every place, even though these should all be the bent because I stayed on axes to bend them. So the geometry of each of these should be the same, but they're actually broken out into a separate one each time. So yeah, it does change them into something different once you bend that geometry. That's a good question.
Let's take a look at, so Jacob EQ says he's a set designer, and he always feels that he's not using SketchUp to the full extent. He gives an example from earlier. He just learned about the component gluing situation there. I'd say it's a good point to be at where you might consider 3D Basecamp next year.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have the opportunity and you desire to up your SketchUp game, there's just not a better place than 3D Basecamp. We'll be in Vancouver, September next year. Josh will put up a link to the website.
Boom, right there.
It's almost like he had it ready. But Basecamp's amazing. It's even from before I worked at SketchUp, it was one of my favorite things to go to because it's amazing knowledge there. The users you get to meet, the people you get to hang out with. It's all SketchUp all the time for days on end.
Aaron's going to be there.
I'll be there. Josh will be there. I don't know. Josh hasn't committed. He said he might be busy. He's going to see how things go.
Yeah, it's a year out, so you got to look at the schedule.
All right. Okay. Yeah, so this was more of a proof of concept than a finished model, and I'm going to have to be okay with that. You're going to have to be okay with that.
I like it because you pulled out the obvious difficulty in that thing. So that's kind of the an interesting part of that couch.
Yeah, it turned out okay. All right.
As the moderator, I'm going to say great job.
Josh is good with it. All right, what's our next, what else do we got?
I can read through kind of just a recap of the stuff. So the ones I wrote down, golf ball, staircase,
Golf ball.
that crazy bottle thing that looks like something that doesn't exist. Moose was proposed.
A moose.
Goose proposed plumbus. Wooden boat, train, giraffe, Oktoberfest, beer stein, waterfall.
Oof. All right. Yeah, I like the idea of a golf ball, kind of. I'm trying to think of how.
Peter Stoppel just suggested something organic.
That works. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe we'll come back and do a organic moose in the middle. But I want to think through a golf ball for just a second. Golf balls, if you guys, I can't remember where I learned about this, but I always thought there was just there was a regular simple pattern of holes, but there's actually, most golf balls have different size holes, and the pattern actually isn't regular, which makes sense because you can't take the same hole. You'll end up in a weird thing. So I'm kind of thinking I could do this if I cheat. Because doing a regular, so if I come in here, and I just do a quick sphere. Hopefully you guys saw that skill builder on drawing a sphere in less than 6 seconds, and you can all do it. If not, you need to go watch it because it shouldn't take more work than that to create a sphere.
Or a spear, it's also pretty quick.
Spear. Yeah, spears are easy. All right, so if I was to take this, I'm going to make it into a solid group, and I'll copy it over here.
I'll put a link there. It is an 8-minute video, but it's titled How to Make a Sphere in 6 Seconds.
Yeah, somebody called me out on that in the comments almost immediately. How do you make an 8-minute video on how to do something in 6 seconds? Well, because doing it in 6 seconds, you don't get to explain anything. You know, I can't stop. I gotta keep explaining stuff. I gotta, it's my, well, technically it is my job, So what I'm thinking about here, here's what we're gonna do. I figured it out. I figured a thing out. I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna make a component.
There should be a name for what Aaron just experienced, which is you're wondering what to do and your brain just it grabs onto oh yeah, that's how I do it.
That's right. Epiphany?
That's probably what I'm talking about.
All right. I'm gonna
a moment of
cancel.
uncertainty becomes certain.
Right. That's the one. So what I want to do is, all right. I just created the sphere. I made a hole, and I'm going to now make it a component. I'm going to tell it to set my component axes to this point right here in the center, and I'm going to say glue to any surface. Now, come in here, I can close this back up. Now if I grab this component and I go to place it, I can click anywhere on the sphere, and what it's going to do is it's going to place that sphere. Oop, you know what I did? I created a surface on the inside here. If I poke my head inside, I accidentally created this. But fortunately, I can't come in here and get rid of this extra geometry, and because it's a component, all the rest of these will go that way too. All right, so I have a couple answers to this, by the way. Right now, I'm going to draw a few Sorry, hold on. I'm loading another epiphany right now.
That looks fun right there, what you're doing.
It's
Can you just keep doing that until it's all dimpled
that's
up?
right. This is a
We'll wait.
ASMR video. It's one of those oddly pleasurable. Something about bumps are satisfying yet upsetting.
We just need some music, I think.
That's right.
It'd be a little bit better.
Some nice, calm, relaxing banjo music. All right. So, ew, it's so gross and bumpy. All right, so, what I could do now, I believe, I group this.
Couple Few has been nominated as the saying of the day.
Hey, I'm glad I can keep you guys on your toes on that kind of stuff.
I'm no expert, but I think that's 17. Is a Couple Few 17?
Give or take.
Okay. Whenever I say it, I mean 17.
So if I come in here now, explode these.
Someone has sent in a winky smile with the word scatter.
You know where I was going, Hornox. All right, so I should be able to subtract it from that. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have reversed the faces on those circles first. Because it's going to... No, maybe not. No, I should be good. I'm thinking of intersect. So I don't have scatter loaded. That's the reason I didn't go to that. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but the makers of scatter are actually crowdfunding a version 2. So they want to go quite a bit beyond what they did with the first scatter. So if you use scatter, have interest in that, it's an awesome extension that literally takes pieces, whatever piece you have, and sprinkles it onto whatever surface you want. So if you do things like grass or rocks or anything like that, cities, you want to put random buildings along streets, that kind of thing. I actually did some models of putting hair onto models, or I made a cool model of stuff spilling out of a jar, and I did it all with scatter. Really cool extension. Check it out. It's awesome, because that was actually what I was thinking would be the ultimate way to put these on here, because I would grab that component once, then grab the surface and just say scatter, and it would just cover the whole thing in those circles. Since I didn't, I put in a couple of them, and then I just subtracted those pieces from the face. So it ended up with this. So I got part of a golf ball.
But if you zoom in,
That's right.
close enough,
If I look right
it
here,
looks done.
it's done-ish. So what I was, one of the things I was thinking of was, well, I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna turn off my hidden. Ugh, it is upsetting me. I'm gonna delete the bottom half. We'll look at it straight down from the top. Let's see. I'm gonna cut it off right here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. It's watching you. It's one of those. It's one of those optical illusions. It's actually eyeballs, and they're moving to follow you as you move. Ooh. All right.
Yeah, if you look up trypophobia, you get an
Trypophobia.
image that looks like what you've just created.
Is that the fear of regular hole patterns?
Exactly.
Yeah, it does creep me out a little bit when you see it like that. The one thing that this is going to end up doing is it's going to create seams. I don't know. We'll see if we can fill it in. Like I said, the golf balls that I saw being made actually ended up not with the same. I actually went and looked at some golf balls to confirm this, but the golf balls I checked out didn't have one size hole, but there was a series of different holes. I don't know. There's like straight up science that goes into golf ball making, which I guess shouldn't seem weird to me, but it's weird to me. But like how those spheres have to do with how it flies through the air, how much distance you get, speed. I don't know. I guess I just thought of it as a ball covered with dimples, and maybe, just maybe there's more to it. Yep. Feeling a little grossed out by this geometry once again. And there.
Well, it is sort of Halloween time.
That's true. Yeah, actually, we should be encouraging people to come up with some Halloween ideas to model. All right, so I'm gonna take all these, make them a group again, double click into the group, select and explode them because I just want I can't use solid tools with groups inside of groups. I can't do any nesting and use solid tools. Now that I have this, I'm gonna save it. Golf ball. There we go. And I can select it and I can say, ooh, I'm gonna have an issue. This is not a solid. Can't use solid tools on something that's not a solid. So I'll drop this line straight down, connect it up, connect it up. All right, there we go. So now I can say take this, subtract that from this. It's gonna take just a second.
The first submission is pumpkin for the Halloween stuff.
Do you want to do it now, or you want to save that for?
No, I mean for the
Yeah.
straight Halloween one.
So something somebody pointed out when you use solid tools on geometry, it does go in and regroup them. So if you have it as a component, that geometry shows up as a group afterwards. It's not the same component it was before. Something it's one of those, well, that's how it works. There is an extension, I can't remember, Christina Eneroth has a solid set of solid tools that actually honors those components and doesn't do that. So if you make a lot of these, oh no,
Yeah,
I lapped over the edge.
I'll put a link into that one here.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right, I'm not gonna go back and fix that. I'm just gonna I'm gonna tape it together and hope nobody notices. All right, hopefully it doesn't show up once we get done here. So reverse faces and like it was never there. Okay, so I'm gonna take all this geometry now. I'm gonna go straight above, grab it, option. Oops, I didn't grab all the geometry. All the geometry from above, from this line, option, bring it over to this line 3 times. There's a 1, and here's a 3. E. My fan's really doing some things here too. I wonder if my computer's getting tired. Okay, so now I'm gonna take all of this and I'll go right here looking at straight on. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have done this with a little bit lower poly circles. That probably would have been a good thing to do. But this turned out to be kind of a cool, this is definitely a fun example. It's just a lot of geometry. Oh, I also have my components window open. That's my problem. If you are seeing a lag as you're modeling through stuff like this and you think you shouldn't, keep an eye on your outliner and your components window. Something about data that it updates, it slows it down, rewriting the model if you have the components window or the outliner. I don't understand exactly what it is, but it can speed up your modeling significantly if you close these windows while you're doing stuff like this. So I will close that as soon as it's done doing whatever it's doing. Oh, somebody just asked for a fluffy bed cover. I need help buying a good laptop for interior design. Well, don't ask me because I'm a Mac user and I would just suggest the Mac. But actually, it's an interesting question because, and I'm not going to get in, we're not going to do a Mac versus PC thing, guys, here. I don't want to trigger anybody, any of you OS sensitives out there. I'm not going to say any one solution is better than any other. But one of the big reasons people will go to something like a PC over Mac. If you like PC or Mac, go for it. One of the big differences comes down to what else you want to use it with. If you want to do a lot of rendering, then I really recommend a higher end PC, like a gaming PC or something like that, that has a lot of processor. If you're just doing regular SketchUp, the demand actually isn't too terrible. What you want to keep an eye on is the graphics card. Make sure it can support OpenGL, which is the graphics language that SketchUp uses. All right, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fill the gap real quickly. Fill the gaps. Uh-oh, that overlapped. All right, this is not going to be the prettiest golf ball in the world, but we're going to get it done. Maybe.
So we may want to mention again, people have kind of joined in a little bit later than after we mentioned what your little gadget is. So far, my favorite name of it is the zooming dial gadget.
I like it.
So we did mention what that was, but yeah, Aaron's using kind of a special 3D connection device that lets him orbit kind of without using the mouse to orbit. He can use his right hand to do some regular kind of SketchUp selecting and using tools, and that left hand thing is mostly orbiting in kind of a smooth way, but he also has buttons he can map to certain functions too.
All right, just head over to 3D Connection, 3D CONNEXION, I think is how you spell it, and check out their products. Like I said, if you are a heavy SketchUp user, you want to check it out if you do a lot of presentations with SketchUp or really any 3D modeling software. This is not exclusive to SketchUp. If you use 3D modeling software, definitely check it out because it's a big time saver as you're modeling. And if you're showing people your 3D models, it looks better. It looks good to have it, nice smooth rotations as opposed to choppy, jumping around kind of animation. All right.
And there's a question regarding the selection window direction. So as Aaron's doing this, I'll talk through it and then Aaron can show it. But yeah, if you go right to left, it'll be dashed. And if you go left to right, it'll be solid. And the difference is more obvious if you have certain things that you're trying to select. But the dashed right to left allows you to select pretty much anything, any geometry that enters in the window. And then the left to right, the thing has to be fully in that window to be selected. So for certain things, it's actually pretty nice to specifically use one direction or the other to get what you want.
Yeah, I'm definitely have grown to the point now where I don't really think about it anymore as I go make those selections. But there's definitely, it's very intentional. And that's actually kind of a standard. It's not just SketchUp either. I think the left to right, right to left thing is something I learned back when I was using AutoCAD. All right. I'm gonna say that's what I want. Oh, it's so. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab everything, and here's what Josh is talking about. If I go left to right, only things that are 100% in the window are highlighted. If I go right to left, I get this dashed line. Anything that laps over will get highlighted. So my big sphere is highlighted when I go this way. If I go this way, only the small spheres that fall inside are. I'm doing the same thing. I'm gonna grab everything except the big sphere, make it a group, go into that group, select all, and explode. And now I can grab this one. I can say subtract it from this one. And that's gonna do a lot of geometry, so it's gonna take just a second or two to go through there. Good question, that's a good one.
There's a question about parametric modeling in SketchUp without a Ruby script.
What is the name of that? It's not SimLabs, is it? Somebody has a parametric modeler. I don't remember what it's called though.
Well, the closest thing native SketchUp would have would be dynamic components.
Right, dynamic component. I guess it really depends on what you mean by parametric modeling. With with dynamic components, you can actually create models and set attributes on them. Those can be size attributes. They can be mathematical, where you can actually interact with the model and have it. Like one of my favorite examples is a fence, right? So you have a fence that's so long, and as you stretch it, it adds additional pickets to it as it gets longer and longer as you stretch it with the scale tool. And that happens using standard dynamic components. So that's the best thing. If you're looking at something more like a mathematical design where you want to create, a wavy storefront with square windows and have it figure all that kind of stuff, nothing specific I can think of. But there was something. I just don't remember what it was. Yeah, honestly, if that's something that's important to you, there's some other tools that have some good stuff in place for parametric modeling. Hey, Dave just showed up.
It's about time.
Ooh, Josh is with us, and he just called you out for being late, Dave. I'm sorry. I apologize.
But he comes with a happy Friday greeting, so that's okay.
That's right. All right, so our golf ball is hopefully just about done processing. That was a big subtraction. And we had a request for a pumpkin.
I like pumpkins.
So I'm gonna do a quick. It'll be a very quick pumpkin, and it'll be native tool pumpkin. That's your thing.
Ooh.
I wanna
That sounds
not
nice.
use anything fancy. No fanciness. Just okay.
And
come
just
on.
to close up that, while this is kind of hanging out doing the pinwheel thing, that dynamic component thing, if you want to just see some examples of, if you're new to dynamic components, if you go to the 3D Warehouse, you can actually do a filtered advanced search. If you just click the dynamic component little button, and then if you put in SketchUp for the author, you'll see all of the SketchUp authored dynamic components. And there's just some fun ones to kind of play with and see how they work.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. I like some of those filter options on the 3D Warehouse search now.
Actually, I wonder if I can.
Some cool ones.
I'll put this link in here, and someone can tell me if this actually takes you to the thing I just searched for.
We like winging it.
Yeah.
Dynamic components equals true. That should work. I did not model your vise, Dave. I got scared. I'll be honest. I saw the wood part and I was like, hey, that's no problem. And then I went and clicked through and saw all the other curvy parts, and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do it justice in only half an hour of modeling.
It's also because Dave wasn't here. We just decided we didn't want to do it.
I mean, yeah, did it, nailed it, took 3.5 minutes. Have you tried it yet? Okay, come on, golf ball. Oh, I guess that's a lot of 3D geometry to intersect. Hey, while we're all just sitting around here, let's see what else we got in here. So we totally nailed that couch. Pretty much looks exactly like what I made. Can you make this thing?
Yeah,
That is pretty
previously
cool
he had a
looking.
motorcycle in there, but
Oh.
Red switched it out with that. It was some sort of motorcycle death machine.
Nice. Or not. I don't know. That is kind of cool. I like that. That's a lot of push, pull, and scaling to make most of that. Some cool shapes in there, though.
The top of that reminds me of the first thing you modeled.
Yeah, it does kind of look like our MO. That was MO? Dio. Kind of got a you got a telescope head, son. All right. Yeah, maybe that will be it. Still working on it. Really debating how much more time I want to dedicate to just sitting here and intersecting. Cowboy's asking if you'll put your motorcycle back up. Red. I think it's based on the fact that Josh called it a death machine. Aw, see? I told you guys. I told you Dave probably already modeled it. And he did. Oh, So he's toying with me. Everybody's just messing with me. Okay. Well, do we sit and chit chat or we just force quit this and move on to the next model? What are you guys feeling? How's everybody feeling?
We could, what do you think for the next model?
I'll do a quick pumpkin. Pumpkins are fun. They're nice. I like pumpkins. This is not nice. Not enjoying this. I'll give this 3, 2, 1. Yeah, let's move on. All right, we'll get back in here.
Couple few too many there, Aaron.
That's right. All right, so what we got? Right now we got an airplane, we got a couch, we got MO. So let's we gotta get something Halloweeny in here. A Klein glass pumpkin. Oh, see, this is what I was talking about before. Even though I close this toolbar down, it still pops back up.
It's a feature. It's a feature.
Josh is defending it. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a pumpkin. And here's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna start with an arc, draw an arc on the ground, and I want it to bulge just ever so slightly, so a little bit bigger than just a half circle. I'll take that arc and I'm going to rotate it so the first segment of the arc is on the red axis. I'm going to put a circle on the green, on the red axis, that size-ish. And now with the path selected, I'm just going to hit follow me and click right there. All right, I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to take it and rotate that vertical. That's my first step is, hey Mark. Mark's going as macaroni for Halloween. All right, so I'm going to rotate that up 90 degrees. And the other thing I have to rotate is I want to rotate it so it's back. It's leaning over too far right now. Okay, sorry. Should have got rid of you originally. All right, I'll take this. So I'm going to use that same point. The point right there is the middle. And I want to go from here to here and make that. Actually, I need this point. I need the center of this circle right here. So now I can, from here to here should be vertical. All right. Now, I'm going to use this point right here. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to go from the middle of that point. I'm going to take a copy and rotate it around so it starts to come out. So I don't want to completely overlap. I don't want any gaps in any holes, but I don't want to be able to, I don't want it super tight like this. So I'm going to come out to like about there. What is that? 40. So if I want a number that's, so I'm going to do 36 degrees, 9. X.
Hey, look at that. A few pumpkin ripples.
That's right. Now, I'm going to grab it all, right click, and actually let me undo that. So that gave me a very spherical because of where I rotated it from. If I come over here, so I'm going to put my vertical line right here. If I grab this and rotate it from here, it's going to give me a very different shape. Let me show you this. Bring it around. And I was using that, I was watching the number down the bottom to see about what number came up, because I want to do something that's evenly divisible by 360 degrees. I don't want to come up with a number that's totally off. So that's why I went 36 degrees times 10. Obviously 36 isn't going to work this time, but let's see if 30 works.
A good question here by Bradley Design. Could you have started a separate instance of SketchUp and modeled the pumpkin while the golf ball finished?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Nope. Unfortunately, that would have been nice, but no. All right. So by rotating it over, further over on the macaroni, by spinning it there, I was able to actually have it kind of give a little bit more of a bulge and less of a sphere shape. So now I'm going to grab everything here. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to reverse my faces, get my white side, my front face facing out, and then I'm going to say intersect faces with selection. That's going to go any place that any of this geometry is currently selected, it's going to intersect with the outside. Cool. So that looks good, but I have all this stuff going. I made a Klein bottle. How about that? I got all this geometry overlapping itself on the inside.
That's
so
beautiful.
There's several ways I could deal with this. I'm going to do it the easiest way possible. I really only want these 12 surfaces. So I'm going to select them, and let's do this. I'm going to Command X to cut them, and then Command V to paste them over here. There's my pumpkin. Look at that, nothing. Oh, I got a couple Klingons on the inside there that I need to clean up. Over here, this is a cool shape. It's not a pumpkin though. It's like it's something else.
That is cool. Some kind of alien fruit.
Yeah, it is. It's gone. All right, so over here, I'm gonna grab one piece. Actually, I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna grab, again, trying to think of the easiest, quickest way to get rid of this. I'm gonna grab these pieces. No, it's because that's gonna still.
Wonder what the Solid Tools shell would do.
Hey, let's find out. Let's save this as a pumpkin. And yeah, let's bring our Solid Tools back up. That's a great idea. Let's outer shell that thing. Oh, but it's not a.
It's that nexus point where everything's converging. I think you got some.
Yeah, I have points coming down to 0, I think. Is that solid? No. What if I try to run Solid Tools on it? No. It just says there's problems.
Those Klingons are having problems.
I'm aware that these are an issue. So what I was trying to think of is how to get in there. If I grab one of these and hide it, see, unfortunately, I can't just double click on a surface because that surface is connecting to other pieces. And if the piece I just hid has other pieces connected to it, they went away too.
For what it's worth, it looks like the droopy stuff inside of a pumpkin anyway.
It kind of does. So if I just pop inside here, I think this is one of those parts where I could probably spend a good 10, 20 minutes getting philosophical and figuring out what to get rid of, when the solution is probably just to come in and, oh man. Deleting these pieces as they float around is actually deleting the edges.
A question comes up here that's perhaps inspired by this geometry, the Iron Man arc reactor.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Get a picture in the forum for me. So I think, again, like Josh called out, and I 100% believe this is right. The issue is this geometry terminating at one point is I'm creating basically a bow tie is what's getting made right there. A piece that's, coming across itself. And that's a problem. Did that whole piece go away? Oh, you know what? Whoop. Being dumb again. I'll just take one piece that works. Bring it over here. See? That's the next T-shirt I need. Is I make mistakes so you don't have to. I'll grab one of these, bring it over, copy it to. Oops. All right.
Looks like a delicious pumpkin wedge.
Yeah, let's just take this. We'll go from here, option, copy 30 degrees, 11x.
Oh yeah.
Ugh, sometimes thinking is dumb. Model by feel. All
That's
right.
pretty much how my all my SketchUp modeling goes. I do it wrong, then I do it right.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. All right, so I'm gonna throw a quick stem on here.
I gotta say, Aaron, that's a beautiful pumpkin.
It is. It turned out all right.
I've seen a couple pumpkins before, and that's a pumpkin.
That is a true statement. It's definitely a pumpkin. All right, so I'm going to draw a 12, because I have 12 segments, I'm going to draw a 12-sided polygon along one of these lines, just something like that. So I just drew it on the inside. That's fine. I'm going to bring it up like that. I kind of like that. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to intersect that face with model, because I want that shape right there. I no longer care about any of this. So I'm going to bring that up just a little bit, and then I'm going to scale the whole thing about the middle.
Looking good. That's a quality pumpkin stem.
That's really something. Whoops. Take that.
Dave says it looks like you've made one of these before, Aaron.
You know, I may have worked on this
Mine-
part earlier. This stem I'm honestly making up right now.
This reminds me of I think you did some kind of tree skill builder or something.
Yeah, it's not far from that similar process. Cool. So with that, I dubbed the pumpkin. All right, I'm gonna do this though. I'm going to get rid of these pieces just because I gotta complete it. This is just asking to be 3D printed.
It's
I'm
also
gonna
asking to be colored orange.
Okay, we could probably do that as well. Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna grab all of this. I'm gonna color that nice dark green color. Grab an orange color.
Cool.
All right, we got a pumpkin. Save that. Cool. Whew.
I would have preferred a browner green on that stem, but that's pretty good.
It's a cartoon pumpkin. It's supposed to be fake looking. All right, so let's do a quick organic model. Let's make that moose that got requested. Oh, glutton for punishment. All right. Start a new one. Render the pumpkin. I don't do the renders. There's people out there who do renders. That's not. I'm a designer. I'm a modeler. I don't do rendering. But all of this will end up on 3D Warehouse, so you guys are all welcome to take and render, make some beautiful fall renders, nice leaves falling, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what's a fall render. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Let's just make a moose. Stop talking.
Dave is also pointing out, aren't pumpkins organic?
Ooh, technically. You are
I'm
right.
pretty sure the one you modeled was organic. I couldn't tell how it was created, but it looked organic.
Not untrue.
You didn't spray it with anything
That is very true.
to help model it. It was not sprayed with any extensions in its
That's right.
creation. Maybe that's how you, organic model is one without extensions.
Maybe that's it. All right, so one of the things that I generally do when I do a sub D model is a lot of times I will come in and break it in half and then model the two halves, but I'm going to try doing this as two separate pieces because I think it's going to be mostly symmetrical, so it means I can just scale everything. There won't be too much repetitive input. Michael did ask how to do renders in SketchUp. Rendering is all done via third party. SketchUp itself does not do any rendering. Part of the reason that I don't want to spend time on it. I want to spend time in SketchUp. But there are some good, having said that, there are a lot of good renderers out there. So if you're looking for a rendering tool, you go to our forum, people have plenty of opinions. It's not hard at all to find somebody to give you their opinion on using, on what renderer to use. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to empty out this side. I'm going to delete until I delete too much and then undo once. All right, I'm going to use Vector Tools. Vector Tools is an extension, and it allows you to grab the model by the points and move them around. So that's what this little widget, anytime that widget shows up, that's because I'm inside of Vector Tools. It also, one of the other things it does is gives you this little, really nice little, well, like I said, it's called the widget, to where I have move, rotate, and scale all in one thing. But the other thing, the main reason to use it is because it is not going to destroy my quads. So it's going to keep all these as four-sided pieces. All right, so what I'm shooting for here is a little bit of moose neck. Bring this around.
I
like
thought it was
this.
the hoof.
Whoa.
Could be either one.
I can see that.
Well, it's curving more now, but
Yeah, I was starting at the top, not the bottom. All right, I'm going to bring this around. I'm gonna get where his head's gonna connect up. I've never seen a moose in real life. I feel bad for me in that.
they're pretty cool.
I've heard that.
They're
So
large.
this is why I use vertex tools. See how that broke that mesh all the way around? If I do that same thing, select that surface and I hit vertex tools, actually come in here and widen that without messing with that mesh at all. All right, so I'm gonna pull that out. And same thing, use vertex tools again. Just ever so slightly pinch that, pull that out again. Use vertex tools to drop it down and skinny it up. Actually, I'm going to use vertex tools to spin it a little closer to vertical. And nope, wrong button. I'm gonna start narrowing. I'm gonna narrow down some moose face. Something like that. I don't know how this is gonna turn out. I'll be totally honest with you guys. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. This could be very.
It could be a
cartoony.
Giraffe,
This could be a cartoony moose. By could, I mean, I'm feeling 99% sure that this will be fairly cartoony.
So, Aaron, is Vertex Tools a free extension?
It is not. Vertex tools and the other tool I'm going to look at, which is Sub D, are paid extensions. But if this is something you do, I will go so far as to say that, I mean, if knowing how often I enjoy doing this, it has been well worth buying this. This is definitely a solid extension. It works extremely well, and it's not terribly expensive. It's $100 some for both of them. There is a trial. You can download it for free to try it out. So that's kind of what a moose looks like. I'm thinking of Rocky and Bullwinkle right now. That's honestly where I'm at with as far as where am I getting my details from. So I'm gonna swing into the head real quick, delete these, just one. All right, and I'm gonna grab it, make it a group, and I'm gonna run sub D on it. I'm gonna run subdivision on it. And that's gonna give me that smoothed out shape so far. Everything does need to be broken into quads for this to work, so 4-sided shapes. That was more than 4, so that didn't work right. There we go. All right. Based on absolutely no research that I'm doing, that looks pretty moosey to me. I'm gonna add a little more detail here, give him a little more jaw, a little more jowl, because it feels like I should. That's better. All right, I know mooses. Mooses? That's right, right? Mooses?
Well, I mean, I think you could say meese if you wanted to.
I believe mooses.
Yeah, it's like deer, I think. Deer, moose.
Yeah, I think moose. Moose. They have fairly big nostrils, right? Undo. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to offset inside of here while it's still in plane. Let's see. Did you find a moose picture?
Just in case you want it. But yours is good.
Uh,
For not having looked at it.
yeah, pretty much nailed that one that's really small. I can't see his head very well. My interpretation of moose.
If we're not looking at a moose, this is pretty good.
All right, here's where I'm going to use another. This is a free tool. This is called Split Donut. Again, everything has to stay 4-sided. So to keep it 4-sided, I'm going to run Split Donut here and here to automatically break those lines. That's not a painful thing to have to do, but it's nice to be able to do it in a single button click rather than having to mess with that. Yeah, we're definitely going to say this is a Bullwinkle-inspired cartoon moose. I'm going to grab this point and take those two and use them to kind of stretch out the face. You can see one of the things that, and maybe this is why I like it so much, one of the things that happens when you come in here is there's not a lot of terribly precise input. Like I said, I think that appeals to me because I'm really kind of sculpting rather than specific modeling. I'm going to go turn on a set of tools called Quad Face Tools. Last I checked, this one is free, and this has something in here called Flip Triangulation. So if you look right here, you can see this should be symmetrical, but it's different. The reason is because when SketchUp goes and divides, it's very uniform like this, so it doesn't do it left to right the same. This is one of the reasons that I probably should have started by breaking half and only modeling half, but the flip triangulation tool, just in a single click, flip that over. Any place it's important to me. All right, no, it's good. Let's see. I like this move so far. This moose is a good guy. All right, I'm gonna do some ears. And I'm toggling subdivision. So with the selected, I can hit U over and over because I mapped it a shortcut key to U, which is gonna unsubdivide and resubdivide each time. So let's see. I need eyes. So I'm gonna offset. Are these subdivided? All right, so one of the things you might run into is things like this. I can't do an offset on this because it's two separate pieces. What I can do is I can select both these pieces, hit vertex tools, and click make planar. That's gonna put those 4 points in a single plane. Once that's done, I can actually delete this, and then I can offset geometry that I'll pull into ears. I'll do the same thing on the other side. Select both of these, vertex tools, make planar, erase, offset, and I'm going to pull that out. This is going to be an ear. I'm going to do the same thing up here. Vertex tools, make planar, erase. Oops, hold up, back up. Make my donut first. Donut. Vertex tools, make planar, erase, offset, pull it out. And then same thing here. Oop. Make that split my donut. Vertex tools, make planar, erase, select this, offset, push pull, split my donut again. Hey, I made a giraffe.
Check it off the list.
Sweet. Okay. I'm gonna assume his eyes go here. So I'm gonna do the same exact thing real quick. Vertex tools, make planar, erase, offset. I'm gonna pull this out just a little bit. Then I'm gonna split my donut again. The reason I worry about splitting the donut is because as soon as I break another piece of geometry, so by hitting make planar, I'm actually shifting all 4 points potentially. And that could actually, see how those got broken? It's real important to me to make sure that after I do this, I want to break it now because I want to tell it where to break it rather than letting it automatically break anything. So if I, let's see, how's that? Not too bad. All right.
And U was a custom shortcut you made, right?
Right. Grab this one right here. Use vertex tools to scale it. I'm gonna scale it this way. Let's scale it this way. And some weird stuff's gonna happen at first because I'm gonna want to like rotate that back kind of into shape. Kinda. Bring that back in. All right, so something like that. Go into vertex tools, same thing. I'm just gonna scale this. I want a little bit of a bump for an eye. I'm not gonna go into crazy detail for that eye, but something that looks, it could represent an eye. Back into the head a little bit. All right. Okay, so there, I got enough for an eye for my half-hour model. There's something similar with my ears here. I want to try to do this on both sides, so I'm going to see if I can do this. Select this point, and slide both of them back together. That's going to assure that it moves back the same amount, the same distance. I'm going to grab this one. It's a vertex tool error message. It happens sometimes. Grab that. Drop those down. All right, I'm happy with that. I'm going to do some antler work real quick. And for the antlers, well, two things. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the 4 sides of this antler, and I'm going to crease it. To crease it, I do need to go to tool palettes and turn my sub D tool palette on. I'm going to click crease, and I'm going to take it all the way up to 100 degrees. 100%, excuse me. That way, I can see one crease, one not. When I hit subdivide, you can see this is the difference. So this looks like it's growing right out of his head. This looks like it actually is his head. If I increase the fidelity of the subdivide, you can see it's going to keep trying to make it smoother and smoother here between his head and the antler shape. Over here, it's poking straight out. So that's what I'm actually looking for. I'm going to reduce that back down to the lowest subdivision because it's going to be the quickest. Unsubdivide and do the same thing over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to crease that up to 1. All right, I don't want to do this twice, so what I'm going to do is delete that, and I'm going to take this one, and this one alone, I'm going to model the horn, and then I'll copy it, flip it, and stick it back on the other side of his head. Not really sure how to do this part. So, you know that's never stopped me from doing this before, so it doesn't really matter that I don't know what I'm doing, obviously. All right, so we can do that. I'm gonna push, pull this out like this. Let's see, vertex tools, take it down and over. All right. A moose, you say? All right, so we're getting there. We're getting a shape. Let's see if we see how that subdivides. If I was going full cartoon, I'd be pretty close right now. But mooses do have like little horns. They have a rack thing going on, right? So I want to check real quick, make sure I don't have any interior surfaces. Looks like I'm good. Josh is flashing. Oh my gosh. All right, so we need to break some geometry up because we got a lot of pokey things to model, pokey parts. All right, so one of the things I can do with quad face tools is I can select a line like this and I can insert loops, and the loop's just going to break that series into smaller pieces. So I'm going to do that a couple times all along here. We'll put one here, put one here, and I'm going to align this shape. I'm not going to offset this time, but just to push pull it out. I'm going to put some horn pieces on here. I'm going to grab this section right here. Use vertex tools to pull it this way, because then I can push pull some horns here. I'll grab these two, vertex. Hey, I should save. I just had a "what am I doing" moment. Oh man, this is so something. All right, so I'm going to use vertex tools to grab these points and pull them back. up. And I'm not sure why that didn't, oh yeah, makes sense I guess. Move these over. Maybe I'll take those up too.
So Aaron Powell is asking, how come you not any, there's an emoji that I can't quite identify. I want to say it's a piece of cheesecake.
No cake today,
No
because
cake.
last time was during the bake-off thing, and Colin brought us in. Colin brought us in some treats.
Okay.
Yeah, because they don't care, Aaron. That's why. I slave away with no bonus sugar whatsoever.
I gotta say, Aaron, this is a pretty good mousse.
This is, all things considered, it's something. Maybe I'll put on a moose modeling class at base camp. What do you guys think? Come by, we'll model some mooses.
It's appropriate for the region.
That's true. Vancouver, I've heard, does the moose. Something you want to keep an eye on if you do use vertex tools, just like SketchUp, when I do a group select, it will select through the model. So I do want to keep an eye, because here I just want these 2 points, but when I select it, if I look up in the upper left, it's real small text, but it does say I have 5 vertices selected right now. So I not only got these 2 right here, but these 3 over here also. I can use modifier keys to change my selection, just like in base SketchUp. All right, see how that looks. Not too bad. It's something. All right.
Pretty moussey.
I'm gonna grab some of this. I'm gonna use vertex tools to turn it a little bit. I really want to put in, I wonder if I can do this. Is it gonna let me, if I grab this. Alright, so, yeah, I guess I'll just do that. And then I'm just gonna make pretty simple points here by grabbing, actually I'll do 2 more. Insert a loop here, and a loop here. And then I'm going to use vertex tools, grab this point, and this point, pull them straight up. A little bit of overlap here. There's an issue, that thing that's showing up, that message, there's an issue in vertex tools which I apparently am good at making it happen. That error message shows up and it doesn't go away completely until you restart vertex tools. So I don't want to do that now. These 2 points out. All right, maybe this guy too, I don't know. Boom. I am, for whatever reason, my brain keeps going to family vacation right now. You guys remember that? What was his name? The moose from, who's got that? Who's got the moose from the theme park in the original Vacation?
Oh, where he punches him?
Yeah, Chevy Chase ends up decking him because they drive cross country and literally suffered like death, and and Edna dies, and they finally get out to the theme park and it's closed. What's his name? Marty Moose? Come on, somebody knows it. I know it. I know you know it. All right, I'm gonna call that. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, kill me. Stop it. All right, I'm gonna grab, yeah, National Lampoon's Vacation. Does anyone remember what his name is? I'm gonna use one of my favorite newer to me extensions, Keurig Mirror, to just take this and slap that right over there. Ooh.
I mean, it's Wally World, right?
Wally World. Is it Wally? Oh, it is Marty Moose. It's Wally World. Punch the moose in the face, as dads do. All right, let's see how this looked. Oh, it didn't heal, so. All right, what's going on here? All right, I tried to, maybe mirroring was a bad idea. I'll just do it the way I was originally gonna do it. I actually don't know how that mirror works, so let's just copy this over here. We'll use scale to invert it to a -1, and then I'll drop that right back on the other half of his head. There we go. That partially healed. That was weird. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Remember when I said I was going to be really smart and not just model half of it, because that was going to be because reason that I said? That was a unintelligent thing that I said. All right. I'm going to force it. I don't really care about uniformity at all, so I just need these points to line up. So I'm just going to force these points to connect together. Wouldn't be a live model if I didn't find a way to struggle with something. Everything was going a little too smooth, I think you'll all agree. All right, what? Undo. Run! All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna delete all of that. And I'm just gonna stitch this real quick. You know what's funny? Somebody asked me how the model went last week when we did Claptrap. I thought it went okay. But I'll be honest, like halfway into the model, I was thinking, oh, I should do this a different way. And I don't know if you guys do that. Does anybody else hit that while they're modeling, where they're like, realize that they're not doing it exactly how they would normally do it? What's going on here? So I got extra geometry. Oh, there's an edge in there. All right. Sorry, I'm talking and stuff. There we go. But I was thinking about that with Claptrap. Like there was a spot or two where I was like, oh, I should begin again. But that's not a very fun thing to watch. So I didn't do that. But I was wondering if you guys how often that happens to you, where you're into a model and you realize, this time was spent doing investigative work, and now it's time to stop the shenanigans and do this for real. Because I definitely hit that. Oh, look at that. Look at the thing going on here. What happened? Extra lines. Not cool. Not cool, sub D. All right. Try it again. because we all know that the third try is a charm. Unless it takes till the fifth to get to that third time, but. All right. See, and because I wanted to save time, I didn't make this a component in half. Oh. All right. Organ faces. Now I'm going to grab these pieces that are meant to bisect quads, and I'm going to manually hide them. I'm going to select them, go to my properties right up here, and turn on soften and smooth, and also turn off cast shadow. That tells, what? All right, I don't know what those are for. Get rid of them. Whew. There we go. Moose! That's what a moose call sounds like. All right, I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna grab him and turn off those extra lines. Ooh, yeah, that's really something. What? I defy you to tell me that's not a moose.
You gotta say it for sure then.
Yep.
I think if a moose saw this, it would be confused.
It would, yeah. Well, that's probably true. If we increase our fidelity just a touch.
Look at that moose.
Look at that. That's some smooth moosing, boy. I actually kind of like that. That's a little like some stylizedness in there. It's kind of cool. All right, so whoops, looks like I have one line here that got.
It's okay. It's a moose irregularity.
That's right. A moose irregularity.
That's how you know it's organic.
That's right. It is organic. Let's get the lines back on real quick. I pick these lines. Because I had to redraw these, I may have lost some of my crease. So if I grab those all the way around, go there. Oh, that one right there is at 0%. All right. Cool. So, yeah, there's my organic model moose. If you look at it in the non-organic, it's got a very metal, pointy. That's a bad moose right there. All right, well, that's a thing that's in the past now. So I'm going to save that. And we're going to keep going. Oh, there we go. See, 3D Wood Plans was nice enough to post a picture of Bullwinkle. And I got to say, I could see where the inspiration came from. Here, let's get him right here. Peel this back just a bit. This was my subconscious reference. Yeah, I can kind of got the nose thing, ears. I see it. But you know what? Also, nobody would ever argue with you that Bullwinkle himself is a moose. So,
because everyone knows moose don't wear gloves.
That's right. How ridiculous is that? Okay. All right, we got another, where are we at? How many, was that, 5 models? Pumpkin, golf ball, couch, airplane, and MO. I'm assuming it's MO, M0, MO, whatever we want to call it. So we got time for one more. What's one more? How do we go with a bang here?
So some other ones that were added were fleur-de-lis, peacock feather, jellyfish, unicorn. Dave said a certain haunted house on top of a hill.
Ooh.
Which I'm thinking you know what that means.
I don't, but I'm thinking a haunted house on top of a. Ooh, desktop fan's still cool too. I don't want to do another organic model, so that's why I'm thinking haunted house sounds like it could be kind of cool.
That sounds pretty fun.
All right. Sounds like we have made a plan, despite our lack of making plans. I'm going to start with a hill. So what we're going to do throw in a hill, and then we're gonna throw a haunted house on top. So I'm gonna go to my tool palettes, and I'm gonna turn on my sandbox tools. There we go. And I'm gonna create a grid. We'll see how that works. I'm gonna grab my smooth tool, and I'm gonna make it, nope. I'm gonna get a real, like, exaggerated hill here. Oh, yeah, now I know what Dave's talking about. Worlds were colliding, Dave. I wasn't thinking in that context. I have a hobby of making stuff, and one of the things I made was a miniature haunted house out of stuff I had in the garage. So, cardboard, plastic packaging, and ended up making a haunted house sitting on top of a hill, and it was fun. It was a good time for me. I don't know if anybody else enjoyed it, but Dave caught that and called me out. This one will be less detailed. All right, in fact, I got that cartoony feel in my blood, so this is going to be a little exaggerated, as you may have figured out by this. Just looks like a ghost right now. All right, so I'm gonna start here with a shape like this. Sorry I didn't pick up on that earlier, Dave. All right, so there's gonna be my kind of foundation. I don't know what I'm doing yet, so we'll start with a couple of tower kind of shapes. So I'm going to pull this up like this. Let's go up right here. Let's go up like this. And I want to make it kind of cartoony and exaggerate the like I want to, you know, have it come out and be exaggerated, but I don't want to do that yet. Because right now I want to keep it as the geometry as straight as possible. Because I'm going to put some roofs on here. Dave, I don't know if you guys know this about, well, if you've spent any time on our forum, you know that Dave is a very giving guy. He gives of his time, spends a lot of time on the forum. And I was talking about how I'm too cheap to buy a lathe, but I want to do woodworking lathe type work. So I ended up making a poor man's lathe with an old electric drill and some wood, and it's pretty ghetto, but it kind of worked. What I was having problems with at this point, as I'm just talking and modeling, was I didn't have a chuck or any way to actually hold the thing that I wanted to lathe. And so Dave made it for me. So that was pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to go out there and do that. I've been in the process of cleaning my shop, and in order to clean things, sometimes you have to tear them down and make a horrible mess, apparently, because that is what I'm doing. So, yeah, I unfortunately haven't had a chance to play with it yet, Dave, but I am looking forward to it when I do get a chance to. Hopefully I can send you pictures that don't include myself being injured. Not gonna promise anything. All right, so just kind of, I don't know, making this all up. I'm just trying to get some classic haunted house shapes. They got the flat section on the top, that kind of thing. I see these kind of widow walk looking shapes. I am not an architect by training or design or by any other means, so I can't actually speak to a lot of those shapes. But I see this a lot. This is like, you know, one of those things you see up there on haunted houses. Oh man, close it up. All right, I'm thinking what I'm do down here. So I'm kind of thinking what would be cool. Maybe we have kind of a porch coming out like this. That haunted houses have to have faces. You know, when you make a haunted house, it helps if you get some eyes and a mouth kind of thing in there. You know what I'm talking about? So maybe we'll come in here.
You got some ears.
Yeah, we got ears. Got some pokey things up there. I'm gonna copy this straight down. And push that down into below. Cool. So maybe I will start with something like yeah, I like that. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll take one of those and put it about here. Copy it across. Not being too exact. I was actually thinking of, you know, making a pass where I'd mess things up a little more even. So that could still happen. We'll see. All right, right here, I'm gonna make a little handrail. So I'm just gonna come up here with a little rectangle right here like that. And then I will grab these shapes right here and just say follow me with that. We got a handrail, and then maybe I'll use a circle to put a spindle. What's that thing though? It's a
So Aaron on the chat there's curious a bit about your background.
we could talk about that since that's way better than dead air. I don't know if it's better than much else, but we could go there. I originally, my intent my whole life was to go to art school. I was always very interested in all things drawing and painting and sculpting, and eventually I got interested in doing things like digital art, Adobe stuff, but also 3D. Hold on, I can't type and talk. 40? Wow.
It could be worth explaining what you just did there. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, so I just
Finding
grabbed
that,
this
point.
first one, and I ended up making a radial array. So I used rotate to rotate them around using this arc to get all those pieces across there. All right. So this is a facade, obviously, not a real haunted house.
Well, it could really be haunted.
Ooh. You guys want to weigh in on that one?
If it crashes real soon, that means it's haunted.
That's true.
Speaking of which, probably should say it, right?
Save. Oh yeah, I haven't saved it all. Ooh, good idea. All right. So yeah, I was thinking I would be some sort of an artist, but that as I was trying to figure that out, I'll be honest with you guys, I was never what you'd call a straight A student. Wasn't bad in school, but I was not an overachiever. I did not kill it. So well, that was okay. I was okay with that. I mean, I passed everything, but when it came time to go to pick out schools, I had to figure out what to do. And honestly, what I really had to figure out was, do I want to go find a place to pay to go to school? So I did look at some art schools, that kind of thing. Or do I want to start trying to make money? So I actually ended up working at my dad's company, which was a software company here in Boulder, which made architectural and engineering software. I know I'm talking a lot more than, I'm actually killing time, filling space right now, but you guys get it. And I started working there part-time, actually while I was still in high school, as a software tester. And that was fun. Let's make a square right here. Sorry, I had to stop and think, apparently. I want to make some mullion kind of looking things. But I want to do this on all the windows, and they're all different sizes. So anyhow, I started off doing software testing. So I was testing truss design software, which was not something I ever planned to do. But I did that for a while, and then when it came to get serious about going to school or not, I had to decide between continuing to work and make money or find a way to pay for school or possibly go into debt. And when you're 18, 19 years old and have a full-time job, I tell you, that sounds a lot better than getting a student loan and going after that. So that kind of happened, and I ended up moving from testing into tech support and learning more about the software. Had a whole suite of design software, floor design, load transfer, wall panelization, all these pieces to make houses. And I learned a lot about it and eventually ended up training. So I had to, it was kind of an emergency situation where we had customers coming in to learn the software, and we actually didn't have somebody lined up to train them. So I actually learned to train kind of on the fly. Did not take any official schooling on how to teach people how to learn, which was, I don't know, it worked out okay. I did take it upon myself as I moved into that position permanently as a trainer to learn about how to teach adults. Because I don't know if you guys know this or not, but adults don't learn the same way kids do. Kids are way better at learning than adults are. Now I'll tell you something, I don't want to insult anybody, but the hardest adult to teach is an engineer. Because you go up to a kid and you go, hey, click that button. And you know what they'll do? They'll click the button. You tell an adult to click the button, and they'll ask you, why are you telling them to click the button? What's going to happen when I click the button? And I have friends who are engineers, so I'm saying this a little tongue-in-cheek. You tell an engineer to do that, and they're going to want a lot of explanation before they just click the button. So I spent some time learning how to teach adults because it's a weird situation. It's not an easy thing to do. But I kind of took to it. It was fun for me. I definitely enjoyed doing it. It was teaching is definitely something that I do enjoy doing. Anyhow, I worked there for a while, and I ended up some of you remember the tool set Build Edge. I actually got to be a product manager, and that was on the Build Edge software. So I got to actually take part in talking to customers and coming up with product specs on how that stuff should work. That was pretty cool. I got to work with a couple of awesome developers too, which several of them actually ended up right here at SketchUp after a while. It's kind of cool. So I've never formally really been trained on a lot of the stuff I do, but I did spend a lot of time designing. So I actually did. At our company we had a design department where we actually ran the software for people who weren't up for running it themselves, and actually creating. No, I don't like that. I want a regular door. Creating like submittal drawings and that kind of stuff. So I did a lot of time. I did time doing that work. So I do have some actual experience doing residential and light commercial design work as well. That was probably more than anybody actually wanted to hear, but I'm still killing time right now. So anyhow, a couple years ago, it was time for a change, and really, I looked on the Trimble website and saw that they were hiring something called a sales engineer. I did not know what it was, but it sounded like something I should apply for. So I ended up coming in, interviewing, and the rest, as they say, is history. I ended up as a sales engineer here at SketchUp, which has been a pretty sweet job. Definitely enjoy it, and it's especially awesome when I get to hang out with you guys. All right. Take that, put that about in the middle. Need some more windows in the front here. All right, it's looking okay. It's not creepy enough. One of the things I was thinking about doing was maybe, yeah, Bradley Designs, here's me on the engineers. I mean, I think engineers are awesome. I mean, you look at some of the stuff around us, it wouldn't exist without engineers, right? So that was by no means meant to ever say anything bad about engineers. But they do, in their training, they get taught to think a very specific way and think about a lot of things, and they're very analytical people. So, like I said, it's just a big difference from when you go up to a kid and you're like, hey, just do this thing and see what happens. You don't get that same kind of buy-in from somebody who's got a background in engineering. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this because, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna make this into a single group. Did I open up the back? I did. Will it close? That was nice when that happens. All right, so I'm gonna grab this whole thing. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna go to tool palettes. I'm gonna grab Fredo scale again. All right, and I'm gonna use, I always forget which one that I'm looking for. Tapering. All right, so I'll do a little box tapering. Did not do that from the center. I did it on one side, so I'll just go ahead and pull this one over this way a little bit. Yeah, I like that. Skinny up the whole thing again. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy now.
That box taper was made for haunted house adjustments.
Seriously. Oh, baby. That's so weird. That's so cool. So this was done in short time, but turned out okay. I need some creepy trees. I'm gonna cut corners on trees, guys. I'm gonna do this. What I mean by cut corners is I'm gonna make a couple of 2D trees. Low poly.
Looks like some moose antlers.
It does. Not a dissimilar process. No, nuts. I was okay with the first one, but then that's a little too much. All right. As I always point out, make sure you keep an eye on your icon, because it should stay a blue diamond like that, indicating you're on surface still. All right, clicking, clicking, clicking. There we go. All right, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna rotate that vertical. And I'll make that a group. And I'm wondering if I was to come in here, no, it's a little too the same, but I was thinking I might be able to do something to give this tree, without a whole lot more work, a little more depth. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't want to spend 30 minutes drawing those things, so. Nope, nope, hold up. No, actually, I don't. I do want to just make it a group. I don't really care about face me at this point. All right, so I'm gonna come in here. Big tree, too big. I'll scale that down. And slide that in there. Nice. Got another copy of it. Throw it down on this hill right here. Copy right here. Take that one out a little bit like that. All right, I want to make a little path coming down here, a little zigzaggy path coming down to the front. I'm going to do that by going straight down, directly down from above. I create a plane. Move it up above. My top-down view again. And I'm gonna change my, I don't need colors. Has that been open since I had the pumpkin? No, I just colored the trees. Parallel projection. So now I'm looking straight down. If I turn on X-ray, now I can actually come here with freehand. I'm gonna start in the back past. I'm just gonna go like this. So I want my path to come down like that, and then the other half of the path. And then those two, they stayed snapped right on top of that surface. So what I can do is I can just close the two ends. And then I can go back into my sandbox tools. You select the surface first or what you want to drape, I forget. Remember, Josh?
I think you click the mesh first.
Okay. Then drape, surface. Nope. Surface, drape, mesh.
Oh, that's a nice path.
Yikes.
Might need
That's a little steep.
some help getting up that one.
Well, it is what it is. Put a nice dark brown on the whole thing. All right, and then maybe we'll come in with a creepy dead green. That's not creepy enough. All right, so one of the things I can do, I can double click on a color, and I can actually edit that color in place on the model. Hold on, I gotta turn my perspective back on because that's messed with my head. This is a little too springy green. This is too happy. So I'm gonna go over to my color wheel and drop it down darker, darker, darker. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, like almost black. And then same with my brown. I could go do the same thing and just start darkening that up. That looks cool. All right. Cool. All right. And let's see, what else should we do here? Oh, let's put a color or two on here. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start by using some standard colors. You guys might have run into this before, where I have colors that maybe they're not exactly what I'm looking for. They're where did I put that? Not exactly what I'm looking for. So if I come in here to roofing, for example, roofing. That's something people have stopped me in training sessions, and we've had talks about how to say that word. R-O-O-F, roof. Just saying. Like this one, right? This orange is really something. It's rough, but the texture is cool. It's a really cool texture. So same thing, what I can do is once it's in the model, actually I'm gonna do this on all of it. I'm gonna put this on as my house siding. Oh, that must have broke. All right. The rest I'll just use regular colors on. And now I can come in here and say, show me my in-house models. Let's look at this one right here. I can actually take that and slide the colors down there too. And go with more of a brownish color, go real dark. Then come here to this and go, well, I don't want it totally gray. Maybe I'll go with like a little bit of a hint of a little blue maybe, but still get it nice and dark. So you can do that with just clicking on those sliders and making those changes. Real easy to do. All right, now I'm just gonna put a couple solid colors in here around the trim, like a dark gray. Yeah, that's the idea.
Aaron, could I place an order for some haunted fog?
You betcha. Darn right you can. All right. So that was good. Let's go grab some concrete. Let's fill in this. Asphalt concrete. Just want a little bit. I want a little bit of texture here. All right.
It's got to be believable.
That's right. It's the realism that I'm looking for. All right, we're gonna take this magenta E color and go a little darker with it and throw that on the front door. One more. All right, and then maybe we'll grab like, no, we'll just go to a color like that with a opacity and hit our windows with that. Leave the trim white. Leave some of the details white so they stand out just a little bit. Oop, missed it. And by making that transparent color, we can actually see inside the model. See that? So you can see the break of the back wall there. And what that lets us do is actually peek inside right now, and I don't know what that is, get rid of that. I can actually put a darker color inside here. We'll do all adjoining colors, and I can darken up those windows. All right, that looks all right. So let's, here, come here, Mark. Get in on this thing. All right, there's Mark for scale. There's our haunted house way up there. Ooh, may have to play with our focal length there. It's a little too far away now. I'm gonna go to my styles. I'm gonna make some changes. I'm gonna start by changing my ground from this brownish color. We're gonna go to a real dark, let's go all the way to black.
Yeah, that brown was too friendly.
It was. In the sky, we're gonna go dark, 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 dark blue. Ooh, yeah, that's spooky. Spooky. Okay, and now I'm gonna also it's too much. I can't see everything. I am going to go into my lines and turn my profiles off. Losing too much detail with profiles up here, and we'll get some fog on here too. Let's go turn on no shadows. Fog settings, display fog. Ooh, alrighty.
Oh, yeah.
All right, but that color's not gonna work. Looks like it's raining. It's real rainy or something. We need to get like darkness.
Mark doesn't look too scared down there.
He's petrified. He's just too scared to even move. Ooh, yeah. He's standing in the light. Everybody else is disappearing.
Yeah, I bet if you made a change to your window material, you could make it appear like the lights are on.
Yeah, if I come in here, maybe we'll go to here. We'll do this one section. We'll grab this right here. And this surface, which I can see, whoops, gotta go into context. right, so this surface, which I can see through this window only, I'm gonna go ahead and put some bright yellow in there. Now when I come back down here, okay, so I can actually see it through two windows, but the little spooky glow up there. All right, let's take that up a little higher. Nope. Did it twice. There we go. And I'm wondering, I don't play with it very often, but I'm gonna come in here to field of view. See if we can make a, whoa. It's got a little more, a little horror show. There you go, a little more. I keep going through the ground plane. All right, I'm sorry, I can't keep marking here and make this look as awesome as it needs to look. All right, I think that might be where we're at.
How about some sketchy edges real quick?
All right, we do that. Go to style. Let's go see. Where's our find a style with some good make me shaking my boots edges. Ooh, that one looks kind of cool. I like that. But what I want to, there we go. Yeah.
Cool.
Trying to think of how to like flash lightning on it, but I think that's where we're gonna end up. Awesome. Well, that was fun. And I'm glad we got some Halloween stuff in there too, because I forgot this was actually listed as a Halloween Ask Me to Model Anything, which we did not honor at all for the first couple models, but it turned out okay. I mean, you could dress up as a moose for Halloween. You could dress up as most of those things we did, right? Well, let's recap real quick. All right, we start with MO. This is a potential, this is a potential prop for a Halloween costume. What else we got? Then we made a paper airplane. That's hard to put a Halloween spin on, but we made it. We showed how to fold. We showed how to fold a piece of paper into an airplane. Let's see what else we got. Okay, this thing is, we made 50% of a Chesterfield sofa, which could be in a haunted house. Stretching. All right. Oh. Then we made a golf ball. Oh, we kind of made a golf ball. We gave up on the golf ball.
Well, SketchUp gave up on us
That's
making
right.
a golf ball.
Well, so you know what I'll do? As I'm cleaning up today, I'll let that solid tool run again, the full one, and if it all works, I'll post that up along with these other files. Pumpkin turned out great.
That's my
Totally
favorite
Halloween
one.
related too. Just saying.
I like
That's
the pumpkin.
That's a good one. And then what else do we? And the moose, which, like I said, there's Halloween costumes out there of mooses. I'm sure. I bet if you look up Halloween costume moose, it's already a thing. I didn't make it up. Somebody else did. And then, of course, we ended right here with our haunted house, which just seems the most appropriate spot to end. So maybe with that, that's true. Dave's saying you could give a moose a pumpkin. I went to a zoo once, a petting zoo. Actually, it was just a farm, but it was after Halloween, and they gave you chunks of pumpkins to feed to the mooses or the cows. Oh my gosh, to feed to the cows as you walked through the zoo farm. Yeah. One last time, yes, this is a 3D mouse is from 3D Connection. It's called the Space Mouse Enterprise and allows you to move in 3D space while you're using SketchUp. Not a requirement of SketchUp by any means, but kind of a nice option if you do a lot of animating and zooming inside of SketchUp. All right, well, I think we're there. We did 6 models. What else can we do? All right. I think we're there. I guess I'm looking at some notes and stuff, and we got it. We did it. We asked me to model anything. Good
Accomplished.
That's right. We did it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. There was some cool. I appreciate all the ideas because there's a lot of stuff we just did not have time to get into because we only have 3 hours, and like I said, we want to do half-hour models. But I got a couple ideas that we'll be able to use for a full 3-hour model in the future. Ooh, put a moon in. Okay, hold up. Whoa, everything disappeared. All right, let's. Okay, I'll be honest, the sketchy edges are messing with me right now. Okay, there we go. We use that same highlight color we used before. Trying to figure out how to place it in such a way that I want it in front. Here, make it big. There we go. Actually, you know what, the ideal way to do a glowing moon like that and not have it mess with the fog would be to put it in as a watermark overlaying, because that would put it above the fog, which would be kind of cool. But yes, we got a moon in there. Thank you very much. Good call. Yeah, I should have made the scene. You're absolutely right. Anyhow, awesome. Well, once again, thank you guys for coming. Like I always say, this would be fun to do on our own, but if it was us on our own, we'd literally be sitting here modeling all alone. So you guys showing up makes it worth doing. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully everybody learned something, and hopefully we'll see you guys all again next week. So thank you very much to Josh. Josh, thanks for coming by.
Sure, it was fun. Thanks for letting me crash the party.
Absolutely. And as usual, we do these things as often as possible based on your ideas. So if there is something else you can think of you'd love to see modeled in SketchUp, go ahead and let us know. You can let us know through the forum. You can hop onto that thread we're using today. You can contact us on social media, let us know of an idea, or I'll leave the comments open on this thread for a little while, and you guys can throw ideas in there. So anyhow, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.